Welcome to Light School, students of the light. What we seek to be is Christologists or spiritual lightologists studying the subject of lightology, which is mysteriously missing from the public school curriculum. How can the most important class in the world be missing? So today is the first video for this channel. I would normally start off by introducing myself, but I'm pretty sure the majority of you that are, even though this channel exists, already know me. I'll do the introductions later. So I'm going to start off with a subject. What should that subject be? It'll be, well, since today is Christmas, let's talk about baptism and immersion and subsequent rebirth. But very quickly, I don't mean for these to be long videos, but allow the good doctor to teach, because we need to build foundation. And so I'll take a topic, I won't go into it deeply, but we'll build foundation concerning energy, frequency, vibration, intent, willpower, creativity, imagination, fortified with wisdom, knowledge, understanding, and a sense of purpose. So let's talk about baptism. I've been known to say that true baptism occurs in hell. There's no need for baptism to occur in heaven. And remember, hell, well, there's two types of hell. There's hell that's a place, and hell that's a state in your mind. Is there a difference? It really doesn't matter. I'm talking about the state of your mind. So, let's start off with consciousness, which is soul, mind, which is the interface, and your avatar, which is the body. Like a car, the driver, soul, the interface, the steering wheel, the electronics, the computerized gadgetry on the car, and then the car itself, the body, the wheels, the engine, the machinery that allows it to move across the road. Also, we have a battery, just like a car has a battery. We have a battery. I call it the synergy cell. I'll get into that at another time. Tonight is not that time. By the way, it is Christmas night, December 25th, 2022. Allow the good doctor to teach. And by the way, when I say that, there's nobody here in the house that's interfering with me. It is a way of clearing energy so that the spiritual downloads that need to happen during these sessions can happen freely and uninterrupted. And we do have in the ethers Decepticons, Disrupticons, and all the other kind of cons. So when you hear me say that, all I'm doing is clearing energy. So let's talk about baptism. Biblically or religiously, baptism meant dipping your head into water for the purposes of bringing God's favor, Christ's favor, upon the child or adult who was being baptized. We're not talking about that, because that is the matrix or secondary matrix powerless ritual that does nothing. And by the way, I don't deal with religion. This is not about religion. I have nothing against people who are into religion. And you do what you have to do to make sense out of this world. But we are living in a double matrix world. And this is why we have something called the Earth, which is the original thought of prime source, or God as you like to call it. And we do have the world, which was created by, for the last 6,000 years, especially the last 2,000. We can call it the deep state, we can call it Illuminati, we can call it the dark. There's all kinds of names for it. If you don't know by now that we're in a system that is culling human beings, culling, then it's time to wake up. We have the three-headed monster, military, U.S., we have financial, London, and we have religious, the Vatican. That's the three-headed monster that runs this matrix. There's another reason for the secondary matrix, and I'm going to go into that in the second time, but there is the natural organic matrix that you have to have in order to have even a body on the planet. But there's a cover over that now, what we call the secondary matrix. So it makes this holographic video game even that much more difficult. But the payoff in currency, which is energy, spiritual energy, is well worth the risk. So let's go back to immersion and baptism. What happens during true baptism or immersion is that your head, representing your mind, which requires, in this matrix, a reprogramming. It requires a deprogramming and then a reprogramming. And then you can get the original primary download as it was intended, as we had prior to the creation of the world versus the creation of the earth. So the earth is run by these secret societies, by the Illuminati, by the royal families, 13 of them supposedly, by whatever alien intelligences that were trapped here. And we'll get into the Tiamat disaster, the Van Allen belt, which helps create and stabilize the secondary matrix. But remember, the goal is for us to raise up out of all matrix and all matrices, and then come back, if we choose to play in the primary matrix. You can play in the secondary matrix as well. So immersion would be that process of taking your mind, right, which is now your ego, which now is running the show. It is the thing that gets distracted, divided, programmed, religiousized, schoolized, educated, put on the plantation, literally to be farmed at a later date. So this is not really where we want to end up. We want to end up with our power back. We want to end up awakened. We want to end up with the soul running things. And make no doubt about it, if we don't wake up, and the goal is to wake up while still in the physical body. This is the challenge. This is the game. It's a video game. Call it a holographic video game. If we do not wake up while in the physical body, then we cannot and get reprogrammed Now, the original intent was that we didn't need to get reprogrammed. If we stayed in the 5D, there is a 5D Earth, 5D vibrational Earth, where there is no Van Allen belt, there is no moon system stabilizing the Van Allen belt, which is an energy lockdown system. Again, a video for another day. So through immersion, we come through almost like a computer where spiritual light is summoned, our soul consciousness is summoned, and we are immersed in the waters of true light, not true life, but true light, or the Christ light, which, as you are now being laid into those waters of light, as your head rests on those waters, the mind is made anew, and you are what is commonly known as born again, or you go through your first phase of awakening. And so that's all that's meant by that. Our minds have been programmed, our mind from birth. We've been turned into slaves. We've been turned into useful idiots. We've been taught really nothing that's powerful at all. As I said, the school of lightology or Christology should have been taught in first grade and in every grade afterwards, but it was left out. Why did they take 45 books out of the original Bible text? Why did they burn down the Library of Alexandria? In order to keep us dumb, stupid, ignorant, sick, poor, afraid, divided, undecided, and unaware of our true identity and our true spiritual identity, therefore disconnecting us from our true power, simply by programming your mind. So programming is a big thing. Deprogramming is a big thing. Reprogramming with the original codes. And here we go with codes. We'll talk about genetic codes. We'll talk about light codes. We'll talk about how codes get downloaded, get transferred. We'll talk about the synergy cell, the synergy battery, how to keep your health meter in the green and at maximum, how to use currency to manifest. So we'll get into all that. But I just wanted to open the door with a little bit of foundation about what we must first do, which is to get baptized or to be immersed in the light that therefore will reprogram, well, first of all, deprogram your mind, literally clear it and wipe it clean of all the nonsense that is holding on right now, of all the trauma, of all the cracks in the emotional self. It wipes that slate clean, almost like rebooting a computer system. It then re-downloads the original program, the original codes. So you have an erasing process or a deprogramming process, and then a reprogramming process. And it is through this reprogramming process that we will call now immersion, baptism, but spiritual immersion, which would be the right word. Mind reprogramming, mind made anew, as it was originally intended to be before we got programmed by the secondary matrix. Again, primary matrix was the organic matrix, must be there. Secondary matrix was the artificial matrix. Earth versus world, primary versus secondary matrix. If you want to watch a movie, there's two that I recommend right now that I'll refer to quite a bit, and I'll give you some others as well. But for right now, The Matrix, the first one, and the second one, especially the one involving the key maker and the Wizard of Oz. Wizard of Oz may be one of the greatest spiritual movies ever made. So I'm going to sign off with that. The first inaugural original video for the channel. And so I'll say goodbye. Wish everybody a Merry Christ Mass. But make no doubt about it, we will become masters of the Christology material, and therefore we will become we'll get a master's degrees in lightology, or spiritual lightology. We will become lightologists. So I'm going to say goodbye. Oh, before I forget, one more thing. Can I please have one Mind Over Matter Cosmic Berry Shake, along with one Love Potion number 9 Health Shake with the correct energy? And with that, I am going to sign off.